This is a story about a person who says that I was happy because I got married to a beautiful girl, Leena. But she never accepted me wholeheartedly. She was in love with someone else. And I was shocked to know who she actually loved was my own. What to tell you that let me start the story from the beginning. But before going towards that, I would like to ask you to please go ahead and subscribe to this channel for such amazing videos and informative stories, and don't forget to press the bell icon for the latest notification. So the person says that I was so lucky that today I got married to a very beautiful girl. I was in seventh heaven. At that time, I was standing outside my room and I was very happy. I had many dreams in my heart. When I entered the room, I saw her sitting in front of me. There was a beautiful fragrance coming from his room. The scent will be even more beautiful. The one will come from my wife's party. I was completely supplied by her beauty. I closed the door of the room and walked towards my wife. I could see her face. She was really beautiful girl, just like a woman should be. I was so happy that our lives begin today. I was determined to love her in every situation, in peace and sorrow, day and night. I want to do my best for her. But when I looked into her eyes, I saw her crying as if she were crying before I came. I ignored that. I was sitting right in front of her. I couldn't take my eyes off her face. I took her hand in my warm hands and she got a little nervous. I like it to make girls nervous. I like this feeling I'm having right now. I held her face in my hands but she wasn't looking at me. I admired her beauty. I told her that how beautiful she was. She was as beautiful as herself. I'm very into her in her eyes. I see the sea with which I want to sink. I told her I wanted to love her more every day like she had never imagined. I wish we were in each other's arms when our eyes were opened and then we opened them in the morning. I want to discover that her body and her soul is as beautiful as I imagined. Then I wish we were in each other's arms when our eyes were opened. And when we opened them in the morning, I want to discover her body, her soul. I want everything of her. I would hug her until her body smells like my body. And I love her so much that my love started flowing like tears in her eyes. She was listening to me but wasn't answering, and it's making me feel bad. But anyways, I laid her down with me and began to remove her beautiful hair from her face. Now, she was looking at me with those big, beautiful eyes. I don't know why, but I could see pain in those eyes, but I didn't care about anything today. It's our wedding night. I had to love her so much that she will always remember this night. I wondered why she wasn't talking to me. I wanted this badly that my hands touched her beautiful body. There would be sounds coming out of her mouth that would make my soul happy. Let her assure me that it feels good to touch her and she's very happy with me. Her soul is very happy to meet my soul. I wondered why she is not having so much fun. I wanted this badly, but I felt as cold as ice. When I touched her body, I expected her to be opposite of her. I want her warmth, not coldness. I couldn't understand why she wasn't attracted to me. I am a handsome man with beautiful face and body. The way she's acting on our wedding night is not normal. Now, I can't help it and I let go out of her with a jerk and she immediately turned away. Aren't you happy with me, John? Tell me a story. I'm married to you and I love you. I want you to love me too. I'm not in the habit of loving corpses. What do you think of me? I'm not that kind of man. I've warned you. But ever since I came into the room, you haven't even looked at me. I was talking and she did not answer me. I got a little angry and told her that if she didn't like me so she could have left. At last, she opened up her mouth and said some sentences which surprised me. She said, "I don't love you. I don't want to marry you by choice, but I was in love with someone else. He cheated on me and my friends told me to marry you because I was living alone. And I was also got fired from my job. I married you only so that you could bear my expenses because at present, I am in no condition to do a job at all. If you want to be with me, you have to stay like this." I had no words to speak. It means she used me as an option. I left the room. But the next morning when I woke up, she had made breakfast for me and she said that she will try on becoming a good wife. I told her that you should have started being a good wife yesterday, which you could not do. And you said clearly that you have used me. But I'm not your kind of a person. When I married you, I thought you were my wife. You can stay in this house as you want. I have no problem with you, but I have the right to know that for whom you are doing all this. He also loved you. Yes, he loved me, but he cheated on me. I said, "Tell me who he is. If you want to go back to him, go back because I can't be with you like this." She said, "I don't want go to because he doesn't love me." I told her that I love you, but you don't want to be happy with me either. You don't know what you want. Think about yourself first. What do you want? If you are mourning for this person, then you have to leave my life. And if you want to stay with me in my life, then you have to forget this person. I told my wife all this, but I didn't think she would think to do or do anything about it. On the same day I got a call from my stepfather. He always supported me in every way. And the house in which I lived also belonged to him because he was very rich and my mother was very happy with him. My stepfather's name was Herbert. He called me and congratulated me on the wedding. He said everything was fine, sir. I said, "I don't know that, I don't understand that thing. I have talked to my wife." He said that to win a woman's heart, she needs flowers and chocolates. If you love your wife, then you will have to take gifts for her and she will be happy because a woman's heart can be won by such things. So my dad was very lifeful man and even at that age, he had a lot of girlfriends. So it was very important to follow his advice. My wife and I were getting more and more distant. So our relationship was not going to work. I tried to get close to her every night, but she used to fall asleep before I come into room and then I would sleep on the couch because if she didn't want me to go near her, I didn't want to force myself on her. But this was no life. I was not married for this. My wife was very beautiful. I used to look at her all day long, seeing her fill my heart with feelings that I should approach her, but she would not approach me at all. One day I got very angry and I found an old friend who I brought to my house. But deep down, I know that I shouldn't have acted like that. But to every wife wrapped my college friend in my arms and started praising her. My wife was watching all this and she didn't like it and went to the kitchen. I later regretted what I did because I knew that I'm doing wrong. If my wife loves someone else, at least she would have told me. But what I was doing was definitely wrong. My wife was cooking for me and used to talk to me a little. But for 2 days, she didn't even talk to me and was very worried whether I should have apologized to her. But that she also had to stretch, at strange, when she was married to me, then she should have removed her thought of her old lover from her heart. But one thing was very, very strange that even in the summer season, my wife kept her neck hidden. I had to talk to her. That's why I said that you don't feel hot. Why do you always wear the scarf around your neck? So she said I don't feel hot and you don't need to worry about me. I got angry. Why was my wife showing me this bizarre attitude? I told her that you are not even more beautiful than any other girls in this town. If you don't stay with me and don't come to me, then what is the purpose of this marriage? I have a good reason to have a relationship with someone else because my wife does not want to come near me. So I left the house. But when I came home at night, my wife was wearing her wedding gown and she was in the same room. She was sitting like she was sitting on her wedding day when I saw her. She told me only one thing. That's what I wanted to hear. When I got close to her, I looked into her eyes. She also looked into my eyes and then she said, "You love me and I love you." I did not expect it to hear anything like this. I leaned over her, hugged her. But when she came into my arms, she was still lying like a cop. I started to get angry and stopped thinking about how she was feeling. I took her in my arms and hid her soul close to my soul. It began to love her, the kind of love that every woman wants. When suddenly my eyes fell on her neck, the gown slipped under my feet and I understood an instant why she felt like a living corpse. Even though she had me, there was something written. It was the name of the man who possessed her soul because I had only her body, and that person was none other than my stepfather. My stepfather's name was written on my wife's neck because the Herbert name could have been seen someone else's, but it was my father's signature. He used to write his name in the same way, just like his signature. His name was written on my wife's neck. Yeah, that's what's his name. It was a tattoo, the tattoo of her lover's name. What could I do now? What should I have do? I would have left my wife and gone out of the room and called my dad and told him everything. But what would have been the result? I would have told my wife that the person she loved and the one who cheated her is my stepfather. What was the point? What difference did it make? I had to decide what to do now. But then I did what my mind told me to do. I did not make any decision and let it go as it was going. I kept doing what I came to do because maybe I was destined to love a cop. I loved her. And the night passed like this. I never told my wife that everyone is my stepfather, friend, and my stepfather is the one she totally loved. So my life was better than before. And that's what I want in all ways.